Hey, so back here, going to do another cigarette video. This one here is just well, in the last one, like the smoking for beginners one, had a guy comment and stuff, just asking some questions. So that'd be a good one to make a video on because it's just kind of a bunch of questions and stuff like that that I didn't cover in that video. So I think that'd be a good one. Maybe the lighting's a little bit better. You can see the good ass chemtrails everywhere in the background. But anyways, like I mentioned in some of the other ones, I do roll my own most of the time. Still going to do a setup for that. I didn't get to go to town and get any. I was going to do like another cheap cig review or something the other day, but I am going tomorrow, so I should be able to pick something up then. Don't know, we'll see. Alrighty, so what I do, I used to have some other boxes and stuff. Just got a little blue one. It was Zigzag brand. I don't even know if you can see it now. Kinda maybe, but whatever. Golden Harvest tubes, just because they're like about the cheapest you can get, right? Sometimes though with these, you have to do it for a while to kind of get a feel for them. Like this one here, for example, it's rolled a little too tight. So then you're gonna roll it out a little bit, pick that off the edge. If you don't pick it off the edge, a lot of times ashes will come down and get you. Put little holes. I got holes in all my pajamas and some shirts and stuff like that from this. But anyways, so I do a full roll your own setup sometime. And like I say, looking a little dank today. Gonna be going doing some work. I've got actually got this on the tailgate. I've got the wood splitter back here. I'm gonna go return that, get a trailer today. I really right now it's just kind of the best time to make a video because I'm having to wait on the donkey to get out of the barn so I can shut it up. Because no pun intended, but he's paying ass to get out. He just has to do it himself, basically. So, anyways, going to go ahead and light it up. Do want to mention this when using Zippos. Some people really like that first like draw that you do. I always just push that. I don't smoke that one, right? Some people really like that because the Zippo kind of gives it a flavor. I personally don't. Love Zippos, but don't do that. And a lot of times, these here, just kind of depending on the weather as well, will affect these. Like if you're in a place where you got a lot of humidity, it's going to be harder to smoke. So I mean, summertime, I got to run the dehumidifier a little bit. But anyways, I'll talk about I'll do a whole video dedicated to rolling your own sometime. So I've got this. Took a picture of it over here, so I know. Make sure I covered it. So I guess first question here in this reply is to somebody named A.O.424, I believe. Anyways, how long did it take before you could inhale all the way without coughing? Okay, so be honest with you, I can't remember. If you're having trouble with the coughing and you want to get past that, but still wanting to smoke, hair's a mess too. Don't pay attention to it. But I'd maybe start with like some lights or even ultralights if you wanted to, and kind of work your way up. It doesn't take too long though. One of the main things that I learned though is you have to smoke kind of consistently, right? At least a cigarette or two a day. Because when you're first starting out, obviously you're smoking like one every several days or whatever, maybe. And you got to kind of build up to it, right? It's like with anything. You got to build up to it. The more you do it, the quicker you'll get over it. But yeah, if you're doing like a light or something like that, it's not going to be as rough on you. But like now, don't bother me. Vapes still rip my lungs out. I never got into those, but I know some people like they have them and stuff. And I just take a drag off of them or draw, whatever you want to say, every now and again. So I've tried. They still rip my lungs and stuff like that. So, but they smoke them no problem. So it's just kind of what you get used to. Then, yeah, any tips how to do that? So yeah, I would say just if you want to hurry up and bypass it, try smoking a light or an ultralight. Ultralights are typically going to be like silver and white packs, generally speaking, and lights are going to be like white and gold or some combination of those. I'd probably stay away from the menthol ones, because with menthol ones, seems like you can draw them a little bit further back because it kind of masks that, like, I don't know what the fuck you call it, but like that sensory thing or something. So I'd probably stay away from those for a little bit. That's just me personally, though. I know some people's only ever smoke menthols and they're fine those. So if you hold it in longer, do you get a better buzz? So I just did that a minute ago. Is that a new chemtrail just started up? Was that the one that was there earlier? I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I've tried that a few times and it's never made a difference, right? So I can't, like I am with everything in life, these are all opinions, not facts, what I've done personally, so I don't know. I know some people do that with like weed or whatever they say. I don't know nothing about that really. So I can't say for sure on a cigarette, but I know for me, I've never noticed any difference, right? So, and yeah, can you demonstrate that? Yeah, so I did that earlier in the video. I'll do it again. I've never noticed a difference. So, and then the lighting, yeah, I tried to make it a little bit better. So I don't know. I don't know if this is helping. It just all kind of depends on the daylight. But yeah, so the technique that I want to talk about in this mostly, as far as getting a buzz, there's two that well, let's say three that I've utilized. Probably the most easiest way to get a buzz is get something strong as fuck. American Spirit Black, right? They're probably the strongest cigarette I've ever had. Or something like a non-filter, cigarette Camel non-filter. Kentucky's basically got a cheaper one. If they still make it, I ain't bought it in years. I need to try to look for those. I mean, them being pretty good. But so that's kind of an easy way to do it. Another thing is the morning cigarette, the first one you have whenever you wake up. Hold off on it as long as possible, right? And if you do that, sometimes you can get a better buzz and stuff like that as well. I do want to mention this real quick before I mention the technique that I'm going to show you guys on how to do it, regardless of how long you smoked, is that whenever I was kind of first starting to smoke, the taste of the tobacco was a lot better than it is now. Every now and again, sometimes on my first cigarette of the day, I'll still get a little bit of that good tobacco taste. And something that I'll do if I buy, like, I'm just so used to these, like, roll your own ones, but if I buy like a pack of cigarettes, especially if it's something nice, I noticed that whenever I was smoking Parliaments, I don't know if they still make those, had the best taste, right? So what I'm talking about is whenever you're drawing it in, because again, I always pull it into my mouth, then slide it down to my lungs, right? But you kind of hold your tongue up, almost like you're doing a half mewing technique, I guess you could say, and it'll let that smoke roll across your tongue, and you get to taste it, right? I thought Parliaments tasted wonderfully on account of that. I mean, that's the main thing I remember about them. So that's one thing too, just as far as the flavor, I guess you could say. But so the main technique I want to talk about as far as to get a buzz, no matter what, is, and don't laugh because it looks goofy as fuck, right? But you're gonna want to just like chief on that shit, right? You're gonna want to every breath you take needs to be a cigarette, right? No breaks in between. What I always imagined when doing something like that is from Kung Fu Hustle. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen that. It's that old landlady and stuff on that. She does that like that big scream super move or whatever. But she has a cigarette and she'll suck it like all the way down. Then she'll like scream out or whatever. It's kind of funny. Kung Fu movies are cool. But anyways, so yeah, you're just gonna wanna Of course, you don't do it like this, but so it puts me in mind. Basically, trying to smoke it as fast as possible, right? This works a lot of times whenever I'm in town. I don't smoke in the car anymore since we got the baby and stuff with us. So, a lot of times I'm doing that because it's like I'm trying to hurry up or it's cold and I'm just doing it in the parking lot real quick. I get a little bit of a buzz. And of course, this is only my second cigarette of the day. So, I can honestly feel a little bit of a buzz just from that. Because these roll your own ones, they are fairly strong. They're just not real good in flavors, kind of thing. But like I say, once you've smoked long enough, you're kind of, I feel like the flavor palette, at least for me, kind of goes away a little bit. But, um, and if that doesn't work for you, do 2 cigarettes, right? I done that the other day, actually for the first time, 2 cigarettes, because I hadn't had a cigarette in like hours. It's late at night. We was doing something stressful. And anyway, so I was out there in the parking lot because I was only going to have time to smoke about half a cigarette. So I thought, well, smoke 2 halves. That's 1 cigarette, right? So I was just doing that, like, and then I remember having that buzz, and I sit back at the seat whenever I got in the car. I was like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? So it really hit me. So kind of a combination of holding off as long as you can and smoking them fast as fuck. No like breaths in between unless you have to. I mean, it doesn't kill it if you don't, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, as far as getting the buzz, I feel like anybody, cause I mean, I smoke all day, every day, right? But I can still get a buzz if I wanted to doing that. I don't particularly like the buzz. I don't hate it either. I'm just kind of neutral about it, so I'm not like always trying to achieve that. Um, so I'd recommend that if you're trying to chase that. And I don't know what I'll title this video, but yeah, so just be on the lookout for this. And hopefully here coming soon, I'll do another like cheap cig review, try to get it back tomorrow. We'll see how everything goes. But got that winter storm coming up, so maybe have some time to make some more videos this weekend. We'll see. Because it looks like going to be kind of holed up this weekend. I've got a lot of shit to try to do today and tomorrow, get ready for it. And because Monday, presumably Monday, you got a lot of people coming, going to do some work and stuff. So you got to take care of some shit. But if anybody watches this, have a good one.